welcome to my space. What's happening? I hope y'all are doing well. And yeah, I'm wishing you good vibes. I'm excited to get into this reading. I'm like, do I wait for people to come? No, we're just gonna get right into it. Make sure they suffocate. Okay, that's the channel message for today or for right now. Make sure they suffocate. I also heard sit on their head. Okay? Niggas always want you to sit on their face. No. Make sure they facing like this. Okay? Head down. Sit on their head. So that you make sure they suffocate. Because these people are holding their breath. Waiting for you to fail. And you bet not. You bet not. You got all these people betting on your downfall. Waiting for you to fail. Praying. Shit. Paying. Putting money on it. Trying to make it happen. Pushing it. Okay? Doing all types of weird ass shit in the background. Trying to see you fail. Make sure all them motherfucking efforts to try to destroy you fail. Okay? And it may require you to level up and make changes for yourself so that you're not attached to things that pull you down. Okay, if you know that people are coming after you, you want to make sure that you got your weaknesses and your vices and whatnot in check. Okay, you don't want to just leave yourself all vulnerable, and don't leave yourself all vulnerable. Don't let people be all up in your business. People love to hear about your bad times. Okay, so shut the fuck up. There's a time and a place. You can share, because I really believe in testimonies and talking about the hard times and how you got over it. Talk about that shit when you get over it. Talk about it when you're outside of it. Okay? Save that for when you have the victory story. Okay? And you can show them how y'all motherfuckers didn't even know I was going through it, but made the struggle look good, period. Okay, that's the type of energy you need to be in, baby, because people are going to try to tear you down, and it's going to come so much more, so much harder. They want to tear you down. They want you to stop. They want you to fuck yourself up. They realize they can't really do shit to you. They don't have the energetic power to do nothing to you, or the people power to do nothing to you. You know, all that slander they did, they slandered to the wrong people. They slandered to whoever they slandered to, but it wasn't your target audience, so it made no difference. Okay, and they doing all of those things. So keep your business to yourself, because they could even send friends, family, just to have a conversation with you, try to see, what's going on. Light bill due. They're gonna do everything. They're gonna put that in a jar so that you struggle your ass off to pay that light bill. Okay. So be aware of that. Okay. Be vigilant. Protect yourself by being quiet. Hey, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, be vigilant about who you are, and at the same time, you can't even really show your accomplishments. If you're going to show your vacation when you get home. Okay? When you're back into your safety. And that's okay. As a content creator, something I've been learning about vlogging, I really love vlog, right? And I have this desire to narrate my life type energy, but be more strategic, not just all willy-nilly showing your address and where you're going and how you got there, the directions and shit. Man, just be like, this is a vlog about cooking. This is a vlog about swimming. This is a vlog about my outfit. You know what I'm saying? Like, elites, you can't let people know where you live, okay? Or where you be at. So keep certain shit private, but there is still a way to say outfit of the day, even if it's for work, but you never tell anybody where you work at. But it's like office setting, retail setting. Okay, so this is some advice on how you can still share your story, but be protective. And thank you so much, Shirley. I appreciate it. I did it myself. I'm getting better, okay, at doing my hair, so I appreciate that, you noticing. I had to blend these colors together. Okay. Didn't even come like that. So, shit on them. Okay. So exactly. Show up. I'm not into hair and beauty all like that. Like, I don't have a single lick of makeup on, and I pretty much do my hair once a month. But you know what? When I do my hair, I do a good job, right? So show up even when you're tired. That's another thing, because one thing they'll try to do is really try to like send you energy to, you know, make you quit. And so it could be you're tired or you're eating bad, which lowers your energy. You're just doing something that lowers your energy, you know. Pay attention to that. Routinely go through periods of fasting and like rejuvenation. Make that part of your routine, so that like say you enjoy drinking or smoking or I don't know, watching porn, you know, whatever. Okay, make sure you have a routine of how you empty yourself of that. If you're going to put toxicities in your body, make sure you have a really good detox system. Ooh, we have somebody in the comments who wants to be addressed. I think I may address that. Make sure you routinely detox yourself if you're going to intoxicate yourself, okay? Okay, look, we have Charlie Jones talking that shit in the comments. And he says, why do you do this for 4 watchers? Do you just like to listen to yourself talk or what? Actually, yes. I love the sound of my own voice. These messages resonate for me also. I love the feeling of what it is to be surrounded by the Holy Spirit, my ancestors, the Most High Power, and just speaking through me. So I love doing this. It feels so good. Okay. And it's definitely more than 4 watchers. So you may be watching now, but at the end of this video, it'll be like 100. Okay. And so this message is for those who have an ear to hear. And I have accepted the fact that most people are deaf and dumb, and they don't want change or enlightenment. And I've accepted that, but I also know that there's those few, okay, who are searching. And maybe the whole message is not for them, but they just need that one key to help them move on. And maybe they never even comment or say anything, or hear me again. But if I could just be there for that one person to give you the encouragement to make it to the next step, baby, I'm doing my job. So that's for you, Charlie Jones. Okay? Yes, I do have hundreds of views. Go look at my page. Okay? Go look at my page. You'll see that the videos say, my highest one was 400. So I'm really proud of that, because I've only been going live consistently for about a week. So a lot more traction than I've had. And I've been doing this for years. That's okay, Charlie. I'm okay with that. Okay? And I'm okay if you leave. Sometimes I'm here by myself. Sometimes I'm here by myself, and I do the same thing, because this is my talent and ability, is to be able to carry on and speak to a crowd, even if there's no one in it. Like, that's a talent in itself. Okay, I'm keeping the energy and there's nobody even there. It means that I am the energy. It means that I am powerful. Okay, so what was it? Let them suffocate. Charles, you can choke on your words, baby. Okay? Because the thing is that you're talking that shit just because you want to make me feel some type of way. Make me feel like, oh, nobody's even listening to you. Nobody even cares. Baby, somebody does. And you know who does the most? The Most High God. Even if nobody watches it, the Most High God watching me. Okay, the Most High God watching me to make sure I get up and I do what I am supposed to be doing. And that I remain in alignment. Okay, you guys? So I hope that encourages somebody. Just because somebody says, oh, you're never going to make any money off that. You're never going to be great. Nobody cares what you have to say. Baby, that's when you know you're touching somebody's nerve. Okay? You touch somebody's nerve. You right in the right place. When just showing up starts to irritate people, baby, you're doing a good job. You doing a good job. Karma. All right, baby, you got to make sure that you're putting out energy that you want to receive back, because that is the way our planet works. Ain't no, all my sins are forgiven as nothing. Okay, ooh, baby. We going there? Ain't no my sins are forgiven as nothing, motherfucker. You got to reap everything you sow. Okay, I think you get like some brownie points when you're very small. And you also get, people who are ignorant also get like, you know, they get some bumpers. Because if you just don't have the brain, you just don't have the brain. But baby, if you have some wisdom, if God has ever blessed you and you went around and tried to hurt someone else, honey, you gonna have that karma to pay. And in the same tune, if you go out of your way to help somebody, that's some good karma. It's actually referred to as dharma, okay? And it's a beautiful thing. One thing I will say about, you know, forgiveness energy is that, say you create 50 decimals of karma, but then you go and you get in your life path, you repent, you get in your life path, and you go up 30 decimals in dharma, right? Say you're at 50, you go down 50, because that would be karma, right? And then you get you some dharma, 30, boom. So now karma only hits at 20 decimals. So there is an exchange there. Like, you can help yourself by truly turning your energy around, truly getting into a higher energy. Okay, like if you are on a low vibration and you commit a crime, right? Say when the consequences for that crime come around, but you're up here now because you've really changed and raised your vibration. Instead of it hitting you like boom, like pain for pain, it'll just hit you like, you know what I'm saying, like less. So that is a little bit of encouragement for those, you know, out here and you find yourself, you know, not the sweetest of pies, okay? Silent retreat. Silence. Silence. So, like, okay, so what I want to say about this is that it is kind of like this energy of, this is between you and you. Like, this has nothing to do with what other people think. This is a personal retreat. This is between you, yourself, the Most High, your spirit guides. It ain't got nothing to do with no other people. Okay? So it's really important that you have time and space to be alone, or take that time and space to be alone. I feel like she's got her headphones on so that you can kind of like go in your own world. So say you live in your current life. Hey guys, thank you so much for being here. Welcome. You know, you can't just be alone. You can go into your own little world. So make sure you have your own little world, okay? Honey, I'm not answering questions right now, okay? You can just take what resonates from this message. We're so far beyond, this channel is so far beyond, is this person going to contact me, or what job should I do next? Like, get into your divine life purpose, and then you will magnetize everything that's meant for you. Okay? So get into alignment with your divine life purpose. And if you don't know what your purpose is, that's where you need to be at. Is, what is God calling me to do? Okay? Why am I here? That's where we're at. That's what this channel's about. Why was I born? Not, will he call me? I'm not entertaining none of that shit, okay? Connect with your higher self, because all the answers are within you. You know, I guess I am going to answer something. If he liked you, you know it. And I know that shit hurts, man. That hurt me. If somebody liked you, you would know it. You would not have to ask. Real shit, okay? Connect with your higher self and be honest with yourself. Be truthful for yourself. If this person let 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks go without talking to you, they don't care. Okay? And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you can just move on, and then you don't entertain shit like that. So then you don't find yourself being heartbroken about who's not paying you any attention, because you're focused on your own shit, number one. And number two, you know that when people don't put no effort in, that means that they don't want nothing from you. Because especially men to women, when men want something, they go get it. That's just what it is. Okay? So let that shit go and dance into the moonlight. It's a freedom. It's freeing you from being like, do I get to be with this guy name? Yeah, honey. I ain't no fake one, I'm a real one. Oh, I guess you took the name off. That's fine though. Privacy. None of that. Let that shit go. Okay? Dance into the moonlight. You'll feel great. You'll feel amazing. Animal energy channel. Okay, yeah, so like I just said about connecting with your higher self and connecting with your guides. You may have some animal guides. I'm sorry, I'm trying to see if it'll focus to read the word. But it says animal energy and channel. Okay, so you can be a channel for energy, animal energy. You could be receiving messages from them. Okay, symbol, it could be symbolic. You know, seeing different animals can be symbolic. But also thing about communicating with animals is that they don't speak English or any language. They don't speak a language. They recognize sounds. They recognize sounds, but they speak energy. That's what I learned about my dog. It's about having a dog, is animals speak energy. So you don't have to use any words to communicate with your animal. Like if my dog, my puppy, if she's like too rambunctious and I don't want her to keep nipping at me, being so playful, right? I'll get like an adult dog and I'll give her a type energy, okay? Like just like, and you're saying no, not with words, but with your body, with your energy, okay? And so that is how you communicate with animals, but that's also another way we can communicate with each other like that too, if we tap in. But yeah, I don't know, something about communicating with animals, you never know, like if you need a motherfucker to come closer to you, send you a message in the bottle energy, that may be somebody's calling, is how to train animals, training wild animals, taming wild animals, okay? Because there will be a time when we are thrust back into nature, and we're going to need somebody who's comfortable and confident dealing with nature spirits, okay? We can't be, because like it's easy to be at the top of the food chain from our homes, okay? But if we're all outside, who's really at the top? I think because even bugs can kill you, snakes can kill you, okay? So who the fuck said we was at the top of the chain? I guess because nobody comes to eat us. That's what makes us at the top of the food chain. But we can definitely die by small ass little animals. Memory. Mommy water. Water theme has not gone anywhere. The water theme has not gone anywhere. They ain't forgot. They ain't forgot. The ancestors ain't forgot. They remember. The water remembers. Okay? And remember that we have the ocean, right? But then it's evaporation, precipitation, condensation. I don't exactly know the order, but them words, okay, that song, in regards to the cycle of water, the water cycle, is that water cycle is not just like, oh, it's in the lake, oh, it's in the ocean, bitch. That shit's in the soil, okay? So you never get to escape this water spirit. So what was done on this earth years ago, it's still being recycled, replenished. It has not been forgotten. The soil remembers, the trees remember, even the brand new baby seeds you're planting, they remember because they get that ancient water. It's the same water that's always been here. Ain't no new water on this earth. It's the same water. Okay? The water gets clean when it brushes up against the rocks. Okay, there's all different type of minerals that help detoxify the same damn water we've had for gazillions of years, however long this planet been here. Okay? So somebody needs to know that shit ain't forgot. And don't you ever fucking forget. Don't you ever fucking forget how they treated you. Okay? Don't you ever forget that shit. Nigga, you forget some shit, drink some fucking water. And remember. As well as don't forget who was good to you. Don't forget who was good to you either. They deserve to be remembered as well. Yeah, tradition. Aduro sin sin. Aduro sin sin. So I don't know, something about like, have you ever been swallowed? That's what I'm getting with this man's tongue. I don't know that, I think that's a woman actually. With this tongue hanging out here, have you been swallowed? You can be swallowed up by tradition. Tradition is good and bad. Tradition keeps, you know, you get to pass it down so the generations know, but at the same time, if you're passing down bad habits, then that's not good. So be aware of what you're passing down, what you're receiving from the elders. Only take what's good for you. Take the good and leave the rest. Excuse me. A lot of people lived and died in this tradition, in these traditions. So take what is working, take what works for you and let go of what does not work for you. You know, pass down the parts that you love to your children, but not the parts that you hate. You don't need to, you know, you can recreate tradition. You can start new traditions. Yeah, definitely that energy of nature, returning to nature though. Okay, so maybe it's nature's tradition. I would say nature's tradition is how we have the different seasons, harvest times, you know, quiet times, hibernation times. That is tradition. So that's where we need to draw our traditions from, is from the earth. What is in alignment with the earth. So of course, a tradition to have a harvest festival, that's a great tradition. Okay? But celebrating New Year in the dead of winter, not really a great tradition. That's a tradition we probably could let go of and push it back to when things are actually new. Okay? And when the new year truly begins. So, celebrating family, that's during the winter months. I don't know. I don't know if I was trying to come with Christmas and the whole gift giving thing. Like going into debt over Christmas, not really a good tradition. Okay, but acknowledging the season change, that's a one that we could switch it. Instead of it being like gifts giving, like what if it's just more like winter preparedness? You know what I'm saying? Like just change the energy of it instead of feeling like, oh, I need to get my kids a present. Like, why do they need presents? Like, how about like, okay, during the wintertime, we should read. We should be more quiet. We should, we need our warm clothes. We need cozy stuff. We need hearty meals. You know? Because gifts can be for birthdays or something else. Okay? Why it's got to be that? Who said it? And is that really working for us? Or does that really work for you? Because what's working for one family, it's okay if it don't work for you. Hey, welcome, welcome. Magic. Do you believe in magic? Then get aligned. Okay? You're going to receive whatever you're ready for. So make yourself a magical life, okay? I don't know. I mean, it's reminding me of the title of Let Them Suffocate. Like, take this palm, your magical hand, and I want you to open that fist and give it a whap, okay? Make sure motherfuckers suffer trying to make you suffer, okay? Make sure you get as ooey gooey and good as possible, okay? Manifest as much as you possibly can on that ass, on their heads. You know what I'm saying? The thing is that you can take energy. When people are trying to bring you down, you know, somebody comes, that's why when people say stuff to me weird in the comments, I like to call them out, because I'm actually taking the energy from them. Whatever the energy they thought they were going to get from me by poking fun, I just extract it by poking fun at them. And the difference is that it causes me no negative karma, because this is my space, as well as the fact that I am not insulting them. Okay, I'm only responding to their insults. Okay, so that is a way that you can harvest energy and transmute energy and use it for yourself. Because, you know, this is a very good example, especially with magic energy here. I've been called to get into more of like my African spiritual practices, and really getting an understanding of hoodoo, specifically. Some of that shit is just innate, but getting a full, more rounded perspective is going to be really helpful for me. And tradition, okay, tradition actually arouses certain levels of fear, like, you know, so I'm working through that, you know, within prayer, because, you know, the way my mindset is set up, you know, I'm kind of like, I don't want to overstep my boundaries. You know, I want to make sure I stay in alignment with my higher purpose, and staying obedient instead of becoming like so many have become, you know, feeling like, oh, I have the power, and using it for egotistical purposes. Okay, it doesn't always start off as hurting others. Sometimes it can start off as just your mindset, somewhere in the mindset shift, you've stopped giving reverence to spirit. And so I'm finding it. Oh, so I want to use this example of when somebody is giving you energy, and how it's better to transmute the energy rather than to stop it. Okay, so there was one point in time, a couple years ago, 2021-ish, and I was sleeping with my business partner. Okay, and we made a lot of money together that year, and I really was fond of him. You know what I'm saying? But he was richer than me, and I was a little chubby. And so his richer friends were like, don't be with her. You know, plus the fact that I can make any man a fucking superstar. Okay? Any man that I'm with, his energy is going to 10x. Okay? And so I feel like his rich friends were kind of hating on him. Like, don't be with that extremely psychic, intuitive, witchy girl who just helped you double your income this year. No. And who's helping to retain your clientele. Don't be with her. No, you get you a more, get you one of these Barbies, these dumb blondes. Get one of those. You know what I'm saying? And he took the bait. He went off, yeah, right? But because he had like a narcissistic trait about him, and so because instead of me being like, you don't want to be with me, and I said, okay, fuck it. You know, I was hurt, you know, but I'm not about to fold for you. And so, anyways, he starts attacking me. He sends a witch to me, then he fucks the friend and gets her pregnant. and then the witchy friend, my ex-friend, his new woman or whatever that he hired, starts doing all types of spell work. I mean, I'm telling you, they did a whole humiliation campaign, spell work, That's why when my family came after me, bro, I had already been through this before. So I already was prepared. But anyways, I got tired of them. After about a year of their ass focusing so much energy on me, right? I was like, I seen something came across my newsfeed. It said, put their ass in a jar. I said, I'm going to put them in a jar. you know, and I felt really good about it. So I did my little work, put them in a jar, went to the crossroads, buried it, right? That night, I had a dream. Everybody appeared in my fucking dream. I beat them bitches up in my sleep, right? And then the next day, it was only the man who came. And I can't really remember, but basically closed out that cycle, right? But I will say, after I beat them bitches up and it closed out the cycle, I had less energy. I went from being like, yeah, I'm good, I got hella energy, make content, attitude, angles, right? But I didn't have all that energy no more. You know why? Because I was getting I was getting my energy from them. All their haterism and all their focus and trying to tear me down, they were actually feeding me. And so I asked the Most High, I said, was I wrong for putting me in the jar? Because I'm not really used to doing witchy stuff. And the Most High said, he's like, it wasn't wrong, you know? But I was making them your footstool. So that's the power in being able to transmute energy rather than just being like blocking it. Like, obviously, if it's just too much, block some, you know? But use as much as you can for your own power. Use all those bricks they throw at you for your fucking empire. Because it's some good energy. It's just an example. That's why even with my current situation, I definitely feeling the ancestors and they're like, do some work, put in some work. You could stop this now. You could do this. You could do that. Da, da, da. And I'm being very cautious about that because I'm letting the Most High work. You know, me giving things to the Most High God has been working for me. Okay, yes, I have to be patient. No, I'm not all in control of it, but I'm getting results. Okay, and so yeah, I'm just being cautious about. I don't want to step outside of my box. You know, my mindset, my tradition. Okay, and then fuck some shit up. So you just have to take your time, pray about it. You know, really ask what you should do about this or that. Because what, you know, you may be defending yourself. You're like, I'm defending myself, right? But what if that was your footstool? Is all I'm trying to say. It's like, when I put all them people in a jar, I put my footstool in a jar. So then I had to get back on my own feet and build up my energy again. Where I thought I was all day, every day, right? But the truth is that they actually had me on a pedestal. So I had to, you know, just build myself up, which I do have the ability. That's why they were hating so hard. But it was something that I definitely noticed. Okay, so learn to transmute this energy. Okay, don't be afraid to turn your pain into power. And you know how you do that? The easiest way is stop being ashamed of shit and taking accountability. Like, if you made a mistake in love, you know, instead of being like deflecting, like, oh, man, they did this to me. I'm a victim. I want you to say, you know, I chose that person. I wanted to be there. I stayed longer, even after I knew they wasn't shit. It is what it is. Better now, you know? Then there's no shame. Then you can, if they try to come up to you and say, yeah, that's why you let me beat you. And then you can be like, and that's why you went to jail, or, and that's why you can't do it anymore, and that's why you're on my page, and I'm not on yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, you transmute that energy. Now you took the 5 decimals of pain he tried to send it to you, and now you have 10 decimals of power. Learn something. Okay, 2 more cards, I'm gonna go. Hella cards. Putting those back. All praises to the Most High Power. Joy and light. Yeah, turning that pain into power. As you know, despite your circumstances, you know, you may not be like the richest or have all this shit, but it's like there's something very special about you. Like, you have this it factor. Okay? And when you're authentically yourself, like, this is what you look like. You look like a unicorn because everybody else looks like Agent Smith. So you look like a unicorn, and you didn't have to do nothing. All you had to do is just be yourself. Okay, last card. So definitely this energy of being called to a practice of some sort. Okay, this is sex magic and an offering. Okay. You know, and it's crazy because I was attacked with this type of energy. I was attacked with sex magic, and I was attacked with death spells and, you know, cult practices and put up as an offering and all that. But somehow this does not scare me, nor do I feel like this practice is innately wrong. I don't think it's innately wrong. I think it has everything to do with intention. You know, if you're willing to sacrifice a cat to save your child, if you're willing to sacrifice a lamb to bring food for the village, if you're doing sex magic to empower your community, you know, build money for yourself so that you can do something empowering, there's nothing innately wrong with that. It's just using what we have, honestly, to communicate with the spirit. But when you have an actual relationship with the spirit, you don't really have to do all this. And I think that's where I kind of get with my connection with the Most High. I remember asking the Most High, I said, can I talk to Archangel Michael? Is it cool for me to call on Archangel Michael? And the Most High was kind of like, why would you do that when you have me? And that's just the energy that I received back. So, I don't know. You think about that, because there's definitely, the veil is very thin, and we can practice magic. We can get to alchemizing. We can get to using our powers. Just be careful. And don't forget about the divine. Don't forget that you got that power from a source. So make sure you show in reverence for that source. Okay? Yeah. Gamer Cells says, will the goals I manifest become reality? It just all depends on you. It all depends on you and what you're ready for and what you're manifesting and what your intentions are. So, you know, goals like, I want to make $10,000 this month. That's a goal. Okay. Are you really in alignment for that? Like, what did you do to help you pull in 10,000? You know, if you got a project worth 10,000, then you can set intentions for that. It just depends on what you're in alignment for and what your real intentions are. Your true intentions are what's going to manifest. Your actual energy is what you're going to attract. Okay? So if you're like, man, I want a healthy relationship, but you're not healthy, then you're not getting no healthy relationship. Okay? Even if that person is fine with somebody else, when they get with you, they're going to be weird. Because of your own energy. And I'm not saying that you're weird or that you have bad energy, but I'm saying that you're ready for what you're ready for. Okay? You cannot escape truth. You can't escape. Energy cannot be like faked. You know what I'm saying? Something that I'm seeing practice with the elites, especially in particular with my grandfather, creating illusions. I noticed about my grandfather, he talks really slow. He'll be like, oh, well, I guess we could go about and do that. I don't see any problem with that. That's how he talked, like that, right? It's very calming and seductive. And it makes you feel safe. But that motherfucker be lying. He's doing it on purpose. you know? So it's like, he could say that he has good intentions for you all day long. But what will manifest is the truth. You know, that it was a trap, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, that will eventually be shown. And so just don't fall for the illusions. Test the spirit. Like, if somebody's saying, like, check this out. My grandfather is in California. I'm in Texas. He invited me to a wedding. If you really wanted me to be at this wedding, you'd be sending me a ticket. Or if you really wanted me to be at this wedding, you'd be having a conversation saying, hey, I really want you to be here at this wedding. Sending me a fucking text, picture text of the date is not moving. And it doesn't show me the fruit of why you're telling me this. So now, you know, I know your intentions are not necessarily for me to go to your wedding, but to be informed that you're being married. And to get some sort of a response. You know, you want a response about how I feel about you getting married. You know what I'm saying? So, those are just examples of, like, looking past the illusions and how you can test the spirit. That's something that I have been learning. Okay, and this is why my enemies are suffocating. It's because I'm not so hasty. I don't need a response immediately. I'm okay with the long game. Okay, so be quiet and just chill. You don't have to respond. You don't have to respond to every question, every message that comes through. Be quiet and see what the response is. See how they react. Do they, like, another example, my cousin Gannett got into my TikTok. Let's talk. Sends me a message. Are you up? That's all, though. Me personally, I felt like if she had something that was important for me to know or something of value to share with me, it's a message. Just send it. Okay? And so that's kind of why I chose not to respond, because why do you need my engagement? Why don't you just tell me what it is that you need to tell me? You know that we're not cool. So either inform me of some shit I need to know, but don't try to bait me into a conversation. And so anyways, a couple weeks passed. I started going live here. The first day I ever went live, her husband gets on my live and starts trying to spin the narrative that that my family spun, which is that there was something wrong with me. I'm insane, I'm crazy, I'm manipulating. Okay. And so he starts trying to spin the narrative in my comments, and that's why I don't tolerate no bullshit, because he was actually the first one to do that shit. And I shut his ass the fuck down. So at first I wasn't sure, like, does my cousin get at, is she on my side? Is she trying to help me? Is she offering me something positive? So I waited to see the fruit of her spirit. And the fruit was rotten as fuck. That no, she wanted to bait me into something that was not good for me. She wanted to turn the tables in her favor. Let me tell you something. When you withhold, you keep that shit in your favor. Okay? You got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. Because I'm not, sometimes shit expires. Okay? But, man, be a motherfucking strategist out here. And I'm not talking to no regular ass motherfucker who ain't shit, ain't about nothing, ain't changing nothing in the world, ain't trying to do nothing but buy a house maybe and drive a car. You know what I'm saying? But for those who want to affect change, you know, those who are like really on mission for life, those who have that real zest for life, and motherfuckers really like be trying to come for you, be serious about yourself. Take yourself seriously. You take yourself more seriously, the more effort and the more investments that you make. It can be financial investments, but more of time, energy investments that you make into yourself. You respect yourself more. And so when people try to disrespect you, you don't tolerate it. All right, y'all. I'm going to come on later. Peace.